Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Ben. Welcome back to another practice. Today we'll be moving through a feel-good Hatha vinyasa flow. So this class is really designed to drop us into our bodies, to bring us into sensation, and to expand the space that we have available to us. I have 2 blocks for today's practice, but you don't need any props besides yourself and your practice space. Let's go ahead and get started right into a downward facing dog. A good way to measure your down dog is to come forward to a plank for a moment, lengthen out if you need to, and then keep this same distance between your hands and your feet. Just bend the knees and lift the hips way, way up to the sky. The little bend in the knees just gives the whole pose a little bit more currency that can flow through. So with the bend in the knees, the heels are driving back and the butt is lifting up. Right? Often a bend in the knees also gives you a little bit more availability to push through your hands and let that push move all the way through the side bodies, through the armpits, all the way up to the hips. So feel the lines of energy that you have available to you. And then take a deep, deep bend into the knees like a crouching dog. And then lunge the right foot up to the top of the mat. Drop the left knee down and flip the top of the left foot down. Grab your elbows and rise up into a lunge. The left foot keeps pressing down into the floor behind you. Really try to point the toes straight back. And then to complement that, the right foot pushes into the floor in front of you. And then you find yourself right in the center, able to lift up through the chest. Take a full breath in and an exhale out. Move into a side body stretch for the left side. So you can just place your right hand on your right knee or reach your right hand down to the ground beside you. I like using a block under my right hand. And then take a few moments opening and closing your left side body, just exploring, breathing into your left side rib cage. Try to keep the legs nice and stable where they are. It's like tree roots growing underground that give the upper body freedom to find space. And then bring your hands down to the ground. Option to use 2 blocks if you have them for pyramid pose. So tuck the toes under behind you. Pull the hips back in space. Try to stay light in your hands and keep pulling the right hip back, back, back. Try not to shorten your stance either. So keep yourself in this longer stance with the legs. And keep looking to the space out in front of you because we want to stay forward moving, right? We don't want to look back behind us, especially if that's going to crank our neck a little bit. Take a full breath in and let it go. Bend into the right knee. Place the left fingertips down and then twist up to the sky with your right arm. Revolve around yourself and notice where your eyes land. Keep driving your left heel back behind you to strengthen your back left leg. Let's take one more inhale. One more exhale. Bring the right hand down and go to Skandasana, back of the mat. So we'll roll the left heel down. Use your hands to help you as you come all the way into a lunge at the back of the mat with the left knee bent. Try to flex your right toes up toward the sky. One breath in and one breath out. Shift to the top of the mat. Plant the hands down and step back to downward facing dog. From the downward facing dog, deep, deep bend into the knees like a crouching dog, and then lunge the left foot up to find the top of the mat. Drop the right knee down, flip the top of the right foot to press down, and rise into a lunge. The cues are the same as last time. The right foot pushes down first. That's the foundation of the pose. That's what starts it. The left foot pushes down in front of you. That's the complement of it. And then between those two energies, you get to find yourself right in the middle of your circumstances and right in the middle of this lunge. So give yourself about 2 or 3 more breaths. We'll move into the side body stretch. So staying in this lunge, either left hand to left knee, as you rest the forearm on your thigh or reach the left hand down beside you. And then explore and seek new space in the right side body. Notice what you find. Be like a scientist where your body is the laboratory, where there's no hypothesis that we're coming in with. We're just coming in with a curiosity, an openness, and a readiness to feel. And then from here, we're coming down. Use blocks if you got them, no worries if you don't. Pyramid pose as you pull the hips back in space. Again, remain long. Remain on your fingertips as you pull the left hip back, back, back. Don't worry about kind of making this the deepest sensation as possible, but try to find as much length as you can through your side bodies, even through the back of your neck. Move into your twist. So bend into the left knee, right fingertips down, and then a big wave of the left arm to bring you up into the twist. I like even bringing my right hand kind of like across the mat. And that gives me more space to revolve around my center. If your hips are sagging down, lift the hips up a little bit. Give yourself some space to work with. And then release and go to Skandasana lunge at the back of the mat. So the right heel drops down and we shift the hips towards the back of our mat. Keep the spine long. Keep both legs as involved as each other. And then carry over to the top of the mat. Plant the palms down. To downward facing dog we go. From downward facing dog, deep bend into the knees to prepare. And then lunge the right foot up to the top of the mat. Drop the left knee down behind you. Flip the top of the left foot down. Grab your elbows. Try to get the opposite arm on top and rise into a lunge. Full breath in. Exhale. Side body stretch. Right arm down. Left arm reaches. Keep rooting down through the left shin at the back of the mat. Take a breath in and a breath out. Pyramid pose. Reach the fingertips in front of you as you pull the hips back, creating a long, long shape. Full breath in. Exhale out. Twist. Bend into your right knee, left fingertips down. Wave the right arm up. Breath in. Breath out. Skandasana. Mindfully shift your weight to the back of the mat as the left heel rolls down. Breath in. Breath out. Top of the mat, plant the palms. Step back, downward facing dog. Lift your butt way, way up to the sky. And then take a deep bend into the knees to prepare. Lunge the left foot up to the top of the mat. Drop the right knee down, flip the top of the right foot to press down and rise into a lunge. Grab your elbows if you like. Full breath in. Exhale. Side body stretch, block or no block. No worries either way. Just find the opening. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Stay high onto your back toes, so try not to let the back heel sag down. Instead, come forward and use that length to embrace the position. And then twist, right fingertips down, left arm opens. Left collarbone opens. Back of the mat, skandasana. Head to the top of the mat and back into your downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your butt to the sky, find lots of space, and then deep bend into the knees to prepare. Lunge your right foot up to the top of the mat. Drop your right knee down, rise into a lunge. This time, maybe you interlace fingers at the webbing, bring palms behind the head, and throw your elbows up to the sky, mindfully placing the back of the head into the hands. Side body stretch. Open up. Pyramid pose. Hips pull back. Notice the space that's becoming available even in this pretty short amount of time. Work into your twist. Left fingertips across. Right fingertips wave open. Skandasana. Move to the space at the back of the mat. Moving mindfully today, not in a rush, but also not at a snail's pace. So finding this kind of medium way of movement where we're still working hard, but we're working mindfully. Top of the mat, downward facing dog. Because doing anything right takes effort. Take a deep bend into the knees and then step the left foot to the top of the mat. But the right effort and efficient effort is what creates grace in the end. Option to interlace fingers to the webbing, place palm behind head, throw the elbows up and find your lunge. Side body stretch. Let your right side open. Pyramid pose. Close it off and fold with lots of length. All of our poses are aiming to take up a lot of space today. So see where you can expand the circumference a little bit, where you can reach outside of the box that you maybe think or feel that you need to stay within. Shift forward, find your twist as the left arm opens. Back of the mat, skandasana. Top of the mat, plant the palms down, downward facing dog, left foot steps back to meet the right. From here, you have the option to just flow without blocks or use 2 blocks for underneath your hips or upper thighs. We're just gonna go down dog to tuck-toed up dog to keep the currency flowing and to move our spine through space using the strength of the legs. All right, so feel free to place the blocks in this fashion across the middle of your mat if you're using them, but if not, you don't need them. Don't worry about it. So from down dog, come through plank pose and then go to an up dog. Right, all of us are strong in the legs. The heels are driving back, the legs are 100% straight, and we're not letting the hips sag down. So straighten your arms, but don't let your hips sag down. So try to keep your hip points in line with like the middle of the forearms. And then lift back up to downward facing dog. Use the legs to propel you forward to up dog. Use your legs to lift you back to down dog. And then just keep going at your own pace. Find a little rhythm with it. Up dog, down dog. Keep it simple. Remember, this version of up dog, the toes stay tucked. And we do that to give the legs more opportunity to strengthen and to be the foundation of what we are building here. Take a few more rounds. All right, last couple here. Finish strong. Stay conscious with your movements. And then after your next one, go ahead and call it and come down to a kneeling or a sitting position. If you use the 2 blocks, go ahead and place those off to the side. Extend your legs out in front of you and bounce out the knees a few times. And then let's move into a little bit of self-massage. So begin to massage the space around your knees. I like to start with the upper thighs and then kind of just move around the kneecaps a little bit. If you want to go to the upper thighs, if you want to go and kind of massage the feet a little bit, you can do that, right? But a little bit of time for some self-love. This, of course, is not a classical yoga pose. However, yoga is truly anything that brings us into a unification with the present moment. And being with our bodies and doing something nice for ourselves and being tender with ourselves and being present with sensation, this is what makes anything yoga. Just take maybe another 3 breaths to do this. Once you finish that, go ahead and cross one leg over the other for Sukhasana. Try to get a good cross so that your ankles and knees are kind of in alignment with each other. And then crawl forward and find a bit of a forward fold. Deepen your breath here. And if you don't feel any sensation here at all, you could take a double pigeon. I like to rock side to side a little bit, and as I do so, I'm kind of imagining that I'm rocking from my left hip to my right hip, from my left butt to my right butt. And so I'm kind of using the rocking side to side as a way to connect to the fluency of my pelvis, my pelvic floor. Take a few more slow breaths. And then take your time switching sides. So just bring the other leg in front. Once again, try to get a good cross. So instead of crossing at the ankles, you're crossing right at the shin bone. Let the knees come down as you fold. So we want the knees to be kind of like right on top of the feet. We don't want the knees to be super high up to the sky. And if the knees are coming all the way up when you do this, then a good thing you can do is just sit on a blanket. So elevate your hips above your feet and above your knees. And the higher your hips go, the easier it will be for your legs to fold into this position. And the same thing is true for pigeon pose, for double pigeon, for Gomukhasana, any of these postures that open the hips in this fashion. Elevating the hips makes it easy for you. Or easier, I should say. Whether it's easy or not depends on the day. Slowly release the pose. As you release, open your legs out wide and take a seated wide-legged forward bend. Try not to crank your neck down again. Try to peacefully kind of look a little bit towards the space in front of you. Sometimes it's nice to wiggle the feet around, to draw some circles with the feet. And sometimes it's nice just to breathe. Release the stretch. Come back to a more neutral seated position, either cross-legged or you can always just sit onto your shins. Rest your palms into your lap. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. Open the mouth. Exhale. Ha. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last one. Deep breath in. And out. I bow to each of you, my friends. This is where I will conclude today's shorter practice. If you would like to lay down and take a shavasana for a few minutes, that's a nice thing to do. Or maybe you go on and take another practice. However you choose to spend the rest of your day, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I thank you for joining me today. Leave any questions, thoughts down in the comments. I always love to hear what y'all think and what y'all are looking to implement into your practices. And I hope to see you again soon. Anyways, much love and have a blessed day.